We bought that house last fall. An old place on the edge of town, tucked beneath tall maple trees where time seemed to stand still. The leaves were red and gold. The air was crisp. It felt like the beginning of something new. We were looking for a fresh start. After losses in the family and a year of emotional heaviness, we just wanted peace. The house seemed perfect. 3 bedrooms, a small office, a backyard full of trees, and a deep stone-lined basement. But from the very first time I stepped inside, something felt off. Not anything obvious, just a sense that the house was holding a secret. A few weeks after moving in, I decided to take a closer look at the original house plans the real estate agent had given us. I was thinking about converting part of the basement into my workspace. That's when I noticed something strange. There was a space, a gap, between 2 interior walls. According to the blueprint, it didn't exist. There was no entry, no door, no indication that anything should be there. But judging by the measurements, the space had to be about 2 meters wide, the size of a small room. I showed it to my wife. She smiled. Probably just a mistake on the drawing. But I wasn't so sure. One night, I went down to the basement alone. The light was dim, and the old wood and cold stone made the air feel heavy. I tapped on the wall where I thought the hidden space might be. It echoed, hollow. I brought a hammer the next day and gently knocked away some drywall. Underneath was old brick, mismatched with the rest of the house's structure. Weathered, covered in dust. I kept going, carefully, brick by brick. After nearly 2 hours, I had opened a narrow gap, just wide enough to shine a flashlight through. And there it was. A room. A small, enclosed space with a wooden bed, a dusty desk, and a cracked mirror hanging crooked on the far wall. No sign of recent life, but everything was arranged as if someone had just stepped out for a moment. I called my wife down. She stared. How does something like this go undocumented? We checked every document. The plans didn't mention a 4th room. Even the contractor we called said the space had no business being there. We decided not to tell anyone. But that's when the strange things began. Each night, a thin mist appeared on the mirror in the hidden room, even though no one had entered. I wiped it off, but it always returned the next morning. One day, a journal showed up on the desk. I swear it hadn't been there before. The first page was scribbled in a shaky hand. I live here. I shouldn't, but I can't leave. I froze. I showed it to my wife. She said I was imagining things, maybe playing into the eeriness of it all. But I knew this wasn't just paranoia. That night, I woke to the sound of footsteps, soft, deliberate, coming from the basement. I crept downstairs. The door to the hidden room was open, just slightly. I pushed it open wider. Nothing, except the mirror, fogged up, with what looked like the outline of a hand. I started researching the history of the house. At the local library, I found something buried in an old newspaper archive. In 1972, the house had been a temporary boarding home. One of the tenants, a woman named Eliza, had gone missing. No trace, no explanation. She had been staying in the basement. But none of the property records ever mentioned an extra room. I returned to the journal. In the final pages, I found one last entry. They tried to erase me from this house, but memories don't disappear so easily. We decided to seal the room. I couldn't bear it anymore. The cold, the mirror, the feeling that I was being watched. I replaced each brick, layered the wall, covered it with new plaster. It felt like burying something unspoken. We kept living in the house, pretending the room had never existed. But sometimes late at night, when everything is still, I still hear footsteps. No one else hears them, just me. And sometimes I think, maybe she's still waiting for someone to remember. Midnight Whispers is a place for kindred souls. If you feel like you found where you belong, please like this video and subscribe to the channel.